No, I didn't. I watched you guys talk about the Super Bowl, but since it wasn't the Eagles, I didn't watch it. I'm an Eagles man. Okay, so I fly high and I hunt high and low. So no, no, not this time, not this time. I kind of followed the surroundings of Super Bowl, what was happening with Mahomes, what was happening with the Brady and the Brady factor and everything. But no, I haven't. I didn't really watch the game. No, no, that's something that's very specific. Only a very small number of people like the Super Bowl, like the NFL, and understand. Like we a bunch of people I know, they watch and they like, but they don't really get what's going on. So it's a
Um, and uh, that actually leads us to our first clip because we were talking about the Super Bowl with Kaiuá, and then I kind of made fun of you guys. So we're gonna show a little clip from tomorrow's show. So here you go, guys. Watch a clip from tomorrow's show, and remember, it's only gonna be on YouTube. So you guys go and subscribe to our YouTube, Ryan and Rodrigo After Hours podcast, and you can watch the whole show tomorrow. But here is clip. So here you go.
there's not even a world championship for football
It
because
is
it's
the World Championship. The
uh,
foot.
that only American teams play. That's
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
Ah,
That's the
Oh,
most.
okay, for the
That's
NFL.
the
Okay,
most
okay, okay.
American thing ever. Is to hold the championship, not invite the world, and then
World
just call it the
Championship.
World Championship. And yeah, man, like America, we get to do world championships, not you guys, just us.
yes, exactly. Um, I was, I was. That's exactly what I was mentioning at that time because um, every sport, I think the NBA is kind of like that too, right? Like there's probably a basketball championship, but nobody watches, nobody knows about it, and
Yeah,
most people just follow the NBA, right?
yeah, for
Um,
sure. There's the FIBA World Championship, but no one cares.
like
Nobody
Feder
cares.
FIBA.
Yeah,
It's
it's
okay.
yeah, it's like the what's the soccer one that
FIFA.
does FIFA? It's like FIFA but FIBA.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no one cares. Absolutely, no one cares.
Yeah. That is true. Like I think I've heard it before. I've heard of it before. But then yeah, no, the NBA. You know, this is
and
the
even
NBA
uh,
is the thing.
and even that the United States is where all the international athletes go to play, whether
Yes,
it's
exactly. The good ones.
basketball, yeah, the good ones. The only sport that's truly international, I guess, is soccer.
Yes, the only sport that America like kind of doesn't give it.
Well, we'll let you guys have this one. That's your guys's. It's your thing. We don't need it. You can have that.
Like you guys have um, football, American football,
Right.
because football is actually soccer is actually football because you and your football is American football. But that's another. Uh, we can have a whole show about this, uh, like the Wright brothers and Santos Dumont. But it's fine. It's fine. So so football, American football. You have basketball, you have baseball, you have hockey. What other big sports? I think
It,
those are the
baseball.
baseball. I said baseball,
Baseball. Yeah.
and baseball is big in Japan, right? Big in
Yeah.
Japan. There's a song called "Big in Japan." That's very
In
nice.
Cuba,
So
people play it in Cuba too.
ah, whatever. They're communists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Do people here even like understand football? Like people who watch, can they really
No,
follow the game or?
no, not really. I have. Well, there's Caiuá. There's probably like 5 or 6 people that go to this bar that like uh, the Super Bowl and NFL that understands. Okay, there's probably a bunch of people that go there to watch because it's cool. It's American. You see in I don't know, shows and everything. So it's hip now to like American football. Okay,
Hmm.
but like that knows what's going on. Like I remember I downloaded no, I bought a game for PS2, Madden, I think.
Yeah, I had that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
I tried to play, and I all all I did was like I threw the ball, and then I got the ball, and then I passed, and then I kicked it, and I said, and there was like 100 different types of combination that I could do plays, and I said, no, no, Jesus Christ, it's I have no idea how that works. So I just said no, no. I never played it again.
Well, I thought maybe I could try to explain to you, try to explain to anybody who's watching some of the really simple things about football.
Well,
Um,
you already explained the electoral college successfully, so
Successfully. Yeah.
let's
Well,
see.
I can try. Let's see. So let's see here. You got a football field, and I even being a big homer, be a big home guy. I chose the Seahawks, and this was the field from Super Bowl. Count now, 48. I think
Sure.
48 when the Seahawks beat the Broncos, and that's what the field looked like. Okay,
Okay.
and if we look at here, okay, the yellow dot is the ball. All right, and it's there on the 20 line, 20-yard line, and a yard is like a meter, right? They're close enough that you can just say it's a meter. And then those 5 blue dots, those are Seattle players, and they are called the offensive line. And if you watch in the game, or if you think about like a very stereotypical football player that's big, maybe like 150 kilograms, that's these guys. They're just really big and they push people. They push to try to make space. Okay?
So they're the offensive players.
The offensive line. The offensive line.
Line. Okay.
And in most plays, these players, these 5 players, will never score. It's not their job to score points. It's their job just to push other players out of the way. Move, get out of the way. Move, get out the way. Like that song.
Okay.
Okay? And then these guys are receivers. They catch the ball. Catch.
Okay.
Okay? And then this one is the quarterback. He's right behind the offensive line. He'll throw the ball. He's the quarterback. And this is the
That's
running.
Brady.
Yeah, this one here is Tom Brady. Throws the ball. This one here is the running back. He'll run. He just runs and tries to run as far as he can with the ball. Doesn't usually catch or throw. He just takes the ball and tries to run. And
He's
then
behind the
the
quarterback.
Yeah. Usually the quarterback gets the ball and then he turns around and he gives it to the running back. That's usually what happens.
Okay.
And then depending on the situation, it's not always, but usually there's this player here. He's called a tight end, and he's kind of like a lineman. He'll push people out of the way, but he's also a receiver. He does both things, depending on what's going on, depending on the situation. And then also depending on the situation, there's another receiver, or this receiver can be a second tight end, or he can be a second running back, or he can be this last player can be a lot of different things. They can kind of choose what to do.
Now, one question: how many players are allowed in the field?
Well, you see here, I think there's 11. If I did my job right, there's 5, 6, 7, 10, 11. Okay, I
Okay.
did it right. I did. So you got 11, and that's the offense. That's in this case Seattle is the offense, and then the next here is the defense, and in this case it's Denver Broncos. Okay, and the first one we're going to see here. This is the defensive line. So you have the offensive line and the defensive line, and in the game they push against each other and try to move, make space. And then the next, they're called linebackers. And linemen, the offensive line, the defensive line, are very big and fat and powerful guys. But the linebackers have to be fast. Not as strong, but still strong. But mostly fast. Because it's their job to go get Tom Brady. You want to run in and you want to tackle Tom Brady. That's what a linebacker usually is trying to do.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So the quarterback has to be the fastest one.
Well, sometimes Tom Brady isn't so fast. On his team, the offensive line, is really good at protecting him. They they stop people from getting in. That's
Okay.
the job of the offensive line, is to protect the quarterback from the defensive players.
So the job of the offensive line is to defend the
Yeah.
quarterback.
The job of the offensive line is to defend the quarterback.
All right.
It's
But
a little
to
confusing, but yes.
Yeah, but I understand. It's to defend the quarterback so the quarterback can go.
Can do things. Yeah. Can throw,
Okay.
usually.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the next are these guys who guard the receivers. They got to defend. They got to stop them from catching. Yeah. And then the last, these guys are called safeties. And they stay in the back, and they're like the last line of defense. They're to protect.
Okay.
Yeah. And so the the goal in the game is to get the ball all the way to the end. To get the ball all the way down there.
It's
But
what 100 yards?
yeah, you got to get it 100 yards. But in this case, they're already on the 20, so they only
Yeah.
got to go 80 yards,
Okay.
right? But one thing, and this is the thing that a lot of people get confused about, is that you don't have to go all 80 yards at the same time. You can go 10 yards at a time. You go 10 yards, and then another 10 yards, and another 10 yards.
Okay, this is so much like a war operation.
Yes, that's the inspiration. The
Yeah,
inspiration
well,
for it was war.
I can see it's exactly like war. I don't know if you've watched the last episode of Vikings, or no, not
No.
not Vikings. There's a bunch of movies like that. Like you have I think 300. 300 is like that. You have the people trying to push, and then okay,
Yeah, it's exactly like that. Just in 300, they're trying to push, and the other side is pushing back. Uh, or yeah, any of those war movies. Or did you play when you were a kid? Did you play Capture the Flag?
yeah, yes,
Yeah. So it's kind of like that. The red team is trying to attack. The quarterback is trying to get the blue team's quarterback, and the
uh-huh.
blue team is trying to take the flag is trying to take the ball all the way
Well,
to the other side.
you like in 1 second, football just lost all his its glamour when you compared it to catch the flag. It's like, ah, sure, okay, now that I can understand. Okay,
So every play, every time that there's action, okay, the players are trying to get it's like first and 10, right? You always have these numbers, first and 10 or second and 3 or third and 5, right? You see these numbers on the screen, okay? And usually if you're watching it on ESPN, they also have this yellow line here
Hmm.
that they show. And what that means that if the offense can get the ball to this yellow line, then they can continue. Then they can continue being offense. And they get 4 tries. So let's say
But
the first try, they do a play the first try, and they get 5 yards. So you see now they're on the 25. And first try, they got 5 yards. So now it's the second try, and they need 5 more. Need 5 more. Okay. And then let's say the second try, they throw. Tom Brady throws the ball, but the receiver doesn't catch it. Or I guess if we watch the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes throws the ball and his receiver.
okay.
And then on third down, they try again. He tries to throw the ball and they don't catch it. And so
Third
now,
down is like a down is like a play. It's like an
yeah,
attempt to move.
like an attempt.
Okay.
Exactly.
So just to so to you have 4 attempts to get to the yellow line, and how
10
do
yards.
you?
Yellow line is 10 yards.
Okay, the yellow line is always going to be 10 yards from where
Yeah.
you are.
You see, it's first and 10. So on first is always 10 yards. And then on second, it's however many yards until that same spot.
Okay, but how do they choose the yellow line?
Is 10 yards. 10 yards from where you start.
Where you are? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then you get to the yellow line, and then another 10 yards is
another
is
10
the next
yards.
yellow line.
Exactly.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
What if you move 20 yards?
Then you get another first and 10.
10 from there. Okay, okay, right, right.
Yeah. So, but then sometimes you don't make it, right? And you end up like this. You end up fourth. And in this case, 5. Could be fourth and 5, fourth and 8, fourth and whatever, fourth and some. And usually, what the team will decide is, we're not going to make it. It's a bad risk because if we try and fail, then the other team gets the ball, and they'll be really close
At that
spot.
spot.
Exactly. And look how close they are. They're really
Mhm.
close to the other end, right? Other end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what they do is it's called a punt. A punt. And when you punt is when they kick it. They drop the ball and kick, and wherever the ball lands, then the defense gets the ball. They become offense
At that spot.
at that spot. Yeah.
Oh, that's like cheating.
A
But
little.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But that's how it works. Yeah. And then you start over, right? You start over all the way back at first and 10, but the other direction. I forgot to make a graphic. The other direction.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
I get it.
That's how football works, basically. Go back and forth and back and forth.
That's why Brazilian people have a hard time following football and l- getting into it because soccer, well, not at the moment, but it used to be very quick, like the ball never stopped,
Yeah.
and now it's getting more like football
Oh yeah?
because it's more yeah, it's never going to be similar because the ball always keeps rolling, but it gets more and more strategic. Okay, so there's more and more intel in the game. There's more and more. No, this player does this and that, and so whereas in the '70s when Pele played, it was hard. Just go and make it work. That's why you saw Pele so much better than all the others. Nowadays, all the players are kind of the same, you know. Even the good ones are not that much better like Pele was.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know much about soccer, but what you said reminds me of something that I read a while ago about. I think it was Barca. I think it was Barcelona that they have a very strategic way to play where they just hold on to the ball. They never
Yes,
play risky, and they never
yes,
allow the other team to get the ball, and it's
and
very boring to watch because
yeah, but they win all games, so
yeah, they
all
always
matches. So
win, but it's not
yeah,
very fun to watch because nothing happens. They just pass back and
um,
forth, and it's a lot of waiting.
yeah, it's not, yeah, exactly. But they have the best players in the world also. So when something happens, it's beautiful. And right, there was in 1974. There was the Netherlands team, national team. They were called the Orange Clockwork
Clockwork
because
Orange.
Clockwork Orange. Yeah, sorry, Clockwork Orange because you don't know much about soccer, but you know that all players have a specific uh, role in the
Yeah.
game. Uh, and in that team, they they didn't. Every player did everything, and people were, and the other team was just like, what the hell is going on here? That guy was just in the fence now, and now he's, so they had like a rotary thing, and they took shifts, you know.
Uh huh.
So that was, I guess, the first and the only crazy attempt to change the rules, change, twist, bend the rules.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, well, the other thing that people get confused about when they watch sports is not just the rules of football, which I completely understand. I mean, it took me until I was like 20 or 25 to really understand football, and I grew up there.
And you liked
but
it.
and I liked it. Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch a lot of it when I was a kid because my dad prefers basketball, but I still went to the high school games and I watched sports. I watched football a lot still, and it took me a long time to really understand why. I get that. But another thing that people get confused about is a lot of the like expressions and idioms and words that people use from sports in their everyday life. And like Americans don't realize how much of this we do, but it's all the time we're using these expressions in our everyday life. And I thought tonight we would explain a few of them just to try to help out any of
Sure.
any of our students, anybody who's watching that might getting confused. And so the first one that we have here is a long shot, a long shot. And you would say this for something that's almost impossible, like I don't know. It's a real long shot that I'll be a millionaire someday. That example.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's a long shot if you think someone would imagine any player being better than Pele, right?
Yes,
That's
there
a
you
real
go.
long shot.
To ever be better than Pele.
Yes, yes. And we have a surprise, uh, like Easter egg about this, right?
That's
But
right.
people will have to wait till the end to see.
You're gonna blow your minds. Blow your minds.
Yes,
All right. So the next one. Have you ever heard this one, Rodrigo? Is it something that you know?
yes, yes. The
Yeah.
ball's in your court.
Balls in your court. So, how would you use this one? It's like you need to decide. Can you think of a way to use this one?
Yeah, sure. Like for example, when we talk about having a show, or when we are trying to decide what topic or what subject or whom to interview, uh, then it just felt like Ross. Uh, then and we have like two options. So we can either interview my mom or we can interview Papa Gary. And I say, well, Ryan, the ball's in your court. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
So
Papa Gary would obviously always be the best choice.
yes, yes. Now, like now that we've interviewed your mom twice, okay, uh, still it would be a close call, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so
All right. So the next one is to be on target. Be on target,
that's
and
pretty literal, right?
it's pretty literal. Yeah. Um, but you can use it for all kinds of things. You can use it to be correct. You can use it to be close. Even you don't have to just be correct. You can be kind of like near the correct thing to be on target.
Okay.
Yeah. And the next, call the shots. Rodrigo, who calls the shots in your house? You or your wife?
Vittorio.
Victor. Either
No,
one.
neither one. Like really my wife, but then
Yeah.
actually I would like to say it's my wife because it's funnier. But we both call the shots, so no one actually, and the shots are not called. So that's the thing.
That's the easiest way
Sometimes
to resolve a conflict.
eh,
Decide. We're not going to decide.
exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And the next one, don't sweat it.
Well, that's very cool and very common, right?
Yeah.
Guys use it a lot. And Ryan, is there a type of person? Would you say that there's a type of person that uses that kind of expression, like your father, for example? Does he say, "Don't sweat it, dude"? Would he say
Dude.
something like,
He'd never say dude, but he might say don't sweat it. I don't
"Yeah,
think so. Maybe not now that I say it.
yeah"? See, just maybe in a different tone, right?
Yeah, but there's another related expression, don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah, no, that one is not so common. But
Yeah. It's
like,
like
don't worry over small things, right?
don't worry about the details.
Uh huh.
Yeah, don't sweat the small stuff. I like that one because I'm a big picture guy. Like in the office when Michael and Jim are
Yes.
co-managers. I'm more of a Michael, I have to say.
Yeah, I'd say you're both, but uh, okay, we'll talk about that off air.
We'll have a meeting, conference room in 5 minutes.
Yes, exactly. Packers coming.
Yeah, and drop the ball.
That one's cool.
Yeah. Can you
Rodrigo,
think
you just
of
dropped the ball. Okay.
yeah the Kansas City? They dropped the ball last week, or Palmeiras.
Literally.
No, Palmeiras dropped the ball
Oh,
last week.
Jesus. Palmeiras got the ball and kicked the ball somewhere, and like they tore the ball down and they
And
destroyed and exploded the ball.
they burned the ball and then dropped it
Exactly.
into a ball of gasoline.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. That is certain.
and and if you guys want to hear more jokes about Palmeiras, then check out our show tomorrow because
Yes.
Caiuá is a big Palmeiras fan, and don't let him forget.
Yeah.
Watch tomorrow. Uh, and the next, give your best shot.
I never related it to sport, but it's clearly from
That's your
sports.
basketball best shot.
Yeah.
Sure. And to go the distance.
That's the name of one of the best songs in a best soundtrack ever. Do you remember the Rocky Balboa song? The name is Going the Distance.
No, but I was thinking of the Disney song from Hercules.
No, Jesus. Don't make me be ashamed of being your friend, Ryan.
Also
I
a
just
great soundtrack. Probably better than Rocky. Yeah, similar
Hercules.
story. Also, You know, he starts out as kind of a scrawny guy, and then pro, you know, and then gives it all up for a woman. And yeah, it's like the same story but better.
Sure. So let's go in the distance, okay?
Yeah, going the distance,
Sure.
and have the upper hand.
Have the upper hand. Like for example, in this match, in his last Super Bowl match, the Buccaneers had the upper hand because they were playing uh, at home, right? They were playing in
Exactly.
their.
That's a good example. Yeah, they had an advantage. They had the upper hand because they were playing at home. They didn't have to travel very far. They got to sleep in their own bed the night before. That's a nice advantage to have, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
Tom Brady got to kiss Giselle goodbye on his way out the door to go to the Super Bowl. So,
so he has the upper hand.
he had the upper hand for sure. And to hit below the belt.
Well, that's a boxing. So I was just talking about Rocky Balboa. That's a boxing reference, right? To hit below
Yeah.
the bat is the belt is to play dirty, to play to cheat. When you the referee, he clearly tells everybody, no hits below the belt. And then
Exactly.
if you hit below the belt, you're playing dirty.
Yeah. Can you think
You're
of any athletes, any players that play dirty that hit below the belt? Oh, what was that guy's name from? Was he
man. I
Colum? Was he
like
Colombian? That soccer player that bit people.
that
What was his?
beats people.
Yeah, he
No,
was at.
I don't remember.
He was. I don't know if he was Colombian or.
No, the only one that bit people was Mike Tyson. That I remember. He hit below the
Yeah,
belt,
he did.
but that was boxing, so
Yeah,
it doesn't apply, right?
doesn't apply.
It,
No, but in the last Olympics,
I don't remember.
there was a soccer player that got banned because he was biting.
Oh, that's cool. Not, but that's weird. Hit below the belt.
I just can't think of his name, but that's definitely hitting below the belt.
Yes, yes. Playing very dirty. Uh, and that other guy, Lance Armstrong,
Ah,
with all
yeah,
the with all the
all the
steroids.
steroids for sure.
Talking about steroids, one of my students is watching us. He's a bodybuilder. So
Yeah.
Arnold, yeah, say hello to Arnold. Ryan, Arnold is one of my
Hey
best
Arnold,
students.
Arnold like Arnold the bodybuilder.
Yeah,
Like this.
he's Arnold. He's Brazilian Arnold. He is
Ah,
the official Brazilian Arnold. Yeah,
very cool.
that's why.
Are all bodybuilders just
And
named Arnold now? Is that just a thing?
he specifically him, and he's a bodybuilder, but he's still a chicken. You know, he still looks too small and all that. But he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
Okay. Cool, cool. Well, hey Arnold, thanks for watching. And the next is to jump to conclusions. To jump to conclusions is like to decide too quickly. And can you think of anything that you have jumped to conclusions about? I don't know.
Not at the top of my mind, but when you if you see me uh, hugging a guy in a strange way, and you're like, Rodrigo, last night I saw you. You were the guy. I said, Ryan, just don't jump to conclusions. And
Pega gelinho lá pro gordão, vai. Pega
what?
gelinho pra ele.
Just a second.
Não, não quero mais não. Vai beber. Vai.
What happened?
Yeah,
Sorry, my phone.
I'll try not to jump to conclusions about that. We'll see. I'll give you a second chance, anyways.
Okay,
And
let me turn off my phone.
the next is to keep the ball rolling. Keep the ball rolling. And this one just means to not give up. Just keep trying to not stop working and to always try your best. the ball rolling.
I remember you used one. Uh, every time we started a meeting at the school, you said, "Let's get the ball rolling."
Get the ball rolling is to start things, but to keep the ball rolling is to continue.
Okay.
English.
Uh,
So
yes, specific.
very specific, right? And meet your match.
Okay.
Face a tough
Meet your
opponent.
match.
Like anybody who's watching that does like football, Tom Brady's toughest opponent is Eli Manning. Every time that Tom Brady got to the Super Bowl and lost, it was because of Eli Manning.
He met his match.
He met his match. He lost twice to Eli Manning.
Okay. He lost 2 Super Bowls to Eli Manning.
Yeah.
So he should have now
9.
10 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I can't remember if he lost another one.
9. Yeah. My God.
He might have lost one other one, but I can't remember. I know he lost 2 to Eli,
Okay.
and there might be a third that I just can't remember.
All right.
But, this is interesting because it might mean that Eli Manning is actually the greatest quarterback ever. Because every time that they met in the Super Bowl, Eli won.
That's true. That's true. It makes sense.
Right? Yeah. The next is out of your league. Out of your league. And I got to say that my wife is out of my league. And there's really no reason for her to be with me. I just got lucky.
Yeah. I can say the same. Pretty much most people.
Most men, right? Most men are like that.
Yes, exactly. So, most men, yeah. So. But would you say that Giselle is out of, like in relation to Tom Brady? Would you say that she's out of his league?
Well, I don't know. Tom Brady's a pretty good-looking guy, and he's supposedly the best at what he does. So maybe Giselle likes success.
Now, one question about this expression. Like you said that your wife is out of your league, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say so? You always put the best. The league is the best person, right? Or the league is the worst person? Do you understand my question?
The league are people that are like at my level.
Okay. So your wife is out of your league.
Is out of my league. She's better than everybody else that should be with me.
Okay. All right. I get it.
Yeah.
What's the next?
And the next, set the pace. Set an example.
Set the pace. Yeah. This is we use that in English, right? Set the pace. Set the rhythm, like get the class going or get the game going or get anything going in the right direction in the right time, right?
Mm-hmm. And you can also use it for an example like, I don't know. Trying to think of something that's not too controversial. I don't know. Can you think of a good example of somebody that set an example?
My God. Somebody
all right.
set the pace.
The Beatles. The Beatles really set an example for how to have a band.
Other bands.
All of the bands followed their
pace.
Yeah, all the bands followed their example. There were no other Beatles until the Beatles. And there were lots of people that copied them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In every aspect.
Yeah. Every way. And then stay ahead of the game. be prepared.
Yeah, stay ahead of the game. Like is to think ahead, right?
Mm-hmm.
To plan things, to see what's coming. Yeah, like when we um, uh, like when we're all my examples are about making videos, but when we're making a video, when we're recording a video, when we have an interviewer, it's better if we stay ahead of the game and kind of know where the interview is going or where the answer is going, so we can roll with the punches, so we can move and do the right thing, right? So it's good to stay ahead of the game at most times. Or when you're dating, not dating, but when you're hitting on a girl, you you're really going to want to stay ahead of the game. So not that it is a game, but you really want to stay ahead of the game, so you know what to say and what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you're never, because they're women. They're always ahead of the game. So
They're always going to be ahead of you. So whatever.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And take sides to support something. You can
Oh
take
my
sides in anything. You can take sides in politics. You can take sides on food, right? Do you want to eat a cheeseburger or do you want to eat Japanese food? I want to eat Japanese food. I just took a side.
Yeah.
My side.
So like to choose something, right? To have an opinion, or like Tom Brady, he apparently he had taken a side about politics, but then he took it back and he said, no, not really. So nowadays, taking sides is a big thing. Everybody apparently needs to take a side, right? That's
Yeah.
just, and if you don't, you're blamed for not taking a side. So, and people say that not taking a side is already taking a side. So you just plenty of sides to take. So you're just taking sides all the time.
You can take all the sides and none of the sides. Yeah,
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then take the bull by the horns. I like this expression.
Oh, you don't like this expression?
No, I like it. I think it's very.
I like it too. This is one of my favorite ones. I never
Yeah.
use it, but because I'm never in that situation.
Yeah.
That I gotta say, I gotta tell someone, nah, man, you really had it. Yeah, no, and I'm not the kind of person that would tell that to someone, like, man, take the bull by the horns and do this. I was just say like, whatever, man. But
Yeah.
that's nice. It's a good expression. Brad Pitt would say that to his friends.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Go and be decisive, man. Take control.
Yes.
You decide. Take the bull by the horns.
Yes.
And I'm like you. I'm not really like that. So maybe we should be taking the bull by the horns more often.
Exactly. Exactly.
And take time out. Take a break.
That's what we do in most of our videos, right? We take the time
Right.
out and then we go back for the second half. So it's always necessary to take time out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
You took time out in December, right? And you traveled a little
I
bit.
did.
You went out to the countryside.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That was nice, taking some time out because I never do. So taking time out is important and very cool.
And throw in the towel.
Throwing the towel is what we're about to do with the video.
Yeah.
Not actually, we're not throwing in the towel. We're just wrapping up the video,
Yeah.
right? But throw in the towel. For example, with Rusty, again, Rusty, we tried for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and then we just threw in the towel. Like, all right. We just let Rusty not want to be interviewed. We still love him more somehow, but then he's
Yeah.
third now.
He was just playing hard to get. It just made us want him more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Throw in the
And then-
towel.
And we're back. Long shot at the beginning. Yeah. So those are all the expressions, you guys. And people use them all the time. They're fun. Especially take a bull by the horns, guys. Be decisive. Do things your way. Rodrigo, you there still? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
May have lost Rodrigo.
hear me?
There he is. He's back. And we're about to wrap up. We're about to throw in the towel, as Rodrigo said.
I'm here.
Yeah, yeah,
Sure.
I can hear you. But we just got a video with Caiuá, our shocking last minute video for you guys. And remember, if you want to see the full interview, you got to subscribe to Ryan and Rodrigo After Hours podcast. It's here at the bottom of the screen on YouTube. Tomorrow, the full episode will be there. But to wrap up today, take a look at another clip and Caiuá. So here we go.
Right now, we're comparing Cristiano Ronaldo to Pelé because officially, Cristiano Ronaldo has scored more goals than Pelé in official matches. You know, Pelé has scored over 1,000 goals, but lots of them were not accounted for officially. And, you know, Cristiano Ronaldo has just passed him. So, is Cristiano Ronaldo better than Pelé?
Okay, I understand.
I personally believe he is.
He's crazy, man. He's absolutely crazy.
That was a long shot.
A long shot for sure.
And that was just an example of the video, of the content of the video, right?
Yeah.
That was a controversial video.
There's a whole hour of that. So
Yes.
go subscribe and watch us tomorrow to see Caiuá being absolutely bonkers, absolutely crazy. And here's one more idiom for you from sports before we wrap up. And it's Caiuá was off the deep end. He was totally out there off the deep end, totally crazy. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. And we will see you all later. We'll see you tomorrow night for the video with Caiuá. And have a great weekend. See you all later. Adios.